Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. This is Dylan with Tucson Future Classics, and that is our 59,000 mile 2017 BMW i3 range extender. A little bit about this particular BMW i3 Rex before I nerd out about the car as a whole. This one's got about 59,500 miles on it. It's a two-owner car that came out of California, and its maintenance records are awesome. Every maintenance has been reported to Carfax, and they've all been done at BMW dealerships. So this thing was definitely cared for and well looked after. Now, the BMW i3s as a whole are a really interesting EV, because if you want to get into your first EV or you have some range anxiety or concerns like that, this one is the range extender. Meaning not only do you get a 94 amp hour or 33 kilowatt hour battery underneath this thing, good for an all electric range of 100 to 120 real world miles, but you get, for 2017, the full 2.5 gallon gas tank unlocked in this, and a 660cc BMW Motorrad scooter motor running a generator in the back, which will give you an additional 60 to 80 miles of range. Again, real world, I like to estimate a little bit low, but you can get just about 200 miles out of this thing, combined motor and battery. And when you run out of those 200 miles, it does have DC fast charging, so you'll get back 0 to 80% in roughly 40 minutes, meaning you get 2 to 2.5 miles of range per minute, and fill up that 2.5 gallon fuel tank and you're good to go. I also unlocked what's called hold state of charge mode for the range extender on this, where instead of it automatically turning on at between 7 and 10% battery, you can manually turn on the range extender at anything below 75% battery, and it will run that generator until its tank is dry and then revert back to using the battery, really helping to extend your real world highway range on this. They're built really, really cool. I mean, this is one of the first mass-produced carbon fiber monocoque chassis cars out there, if you want to get nerdy. This and the BMW i8 that they made at the same time. So it's a really interesting car. Remarkably spacious inside, pretty comfy to drive, and being a really aerodynamic EV, really quiet even up at highway speeds for being a little egg-shaped pod. Little bit of inside knowledge here. I'm deeply biased because I got my job at this dealership because I bought one of these, and I'm a complete convert. So let's get under the hood, into the trunk, inside the car, and out for a spin. Up here in the frunk, you actually have a decent little weather protected frunk here with wind deflectors here, and up here to keep stuff from falling in. And in it, not only do I have my big Nalgene bottle, a couple of detailing rags, but this is the factory tire kit. So you get your air pump, your tow hook, and your fix-a-flat goo. And this When Usual bag is the brand new 110 volt, 16 amp level 1 home charger that we're gonna sell with this vehicle. So that's there for you when you get it. So you don't even need anything special at the house. Plug it into a regular wall outlet and you are good to go. Underneath these little Velcro panels here are how you access things that you might need to, use as the owner. This is your windshield washer bottle. This little green cap here is actually a pull tab if the electronic release for your gasoline fuel door over here fails, which, by the way, single click, comes right out. They have a little integrated holder for it, and BMW recommends 91 octane premium, but if for whatever reason you can't find it, it will run on mid-grade 89 octane as well. And personally, as an owner of one of these, I like to keep a little bit of a Stabil fuel stabilizer to put in with my fuel, because if you run this on all battery, that engine doesn't run much at all, and keeping that gas fresh is kind of nice. It will, however, run the motor briefly, regardless of whether or not you need battery, just to keep fluids moving and keep it running about once a month. Now, under this panel here, same Velcro lifts right off. You've got your coolant reservoir here, power steering here, brake fluid reservoir right there. And again, these being these super lightweight panels that Velcro on, you just push where the Velcro is and it locks itself right back into place. Out back of the i3 here, we'll open it on up and you'll see pretty big storage area back here for a car of this size. Nice, flat, wide load floor, nice and deep, and you've got elastic little catches left and right to keep stuff from rolling around. You've got a 12-volt power outlet here, as well as cargo tie downs, 4 of them there for bigger stuff. And if you need really big stuff, also note the child seat top tethers on the back of these seats. If you need really big stuff, pull this, they drop right down, and it makes a properly big load area back here. Anecdotally, in mine, I brought home a new dishwasher in this thing, and it swallowed it right up with room to spare. So a lot of versatility in these little cars. And this under here is where that range extender generator motor lives. You can take all of these off to service it, but if you just want to check on stuff, only thing you got to worry about is right there. That is your engine oil dipstick for that generator motor. Pretty cool to be able to check the engine oil on your EV. And speaking of EV things, over here is your charge door. Pretty standard fare stuff. J1772 plug on top, fast charger on the bottom. Little picture here describing the color symbols for this illuminated ring. Solid blue is charged, flashing is charging, and green is fully charged and ready to go. Plus, they were kind of thoughtful. If you're charging this thing at home, this clips onto a little holder there so it doesn't just dangle and wear out the rubber. Into the back seat of the i3, you'll see decent room back here, and shut that suicide door. Here you go. Now, I am 6'1", 270 pounds, and this is where I sit to drive. Your arms fall pretty comfortably to either set of armrests. You got a little pocket here, cup holders down below, and child seat anchors on both rear seats. Around really quick and just show you what I mean. Like, give yourself a little slouch, little wiggle, and really impressive packaging on BMW's part, because this is a pretty small car, and you know, decent headroom and everything. It's pretty remarkable how well a big dude like me sits, especially behind my own seat. And to make getting out even easier, flip that forward, seat falls right down, and boom, out you go. Easy peasy. You're in the driver's seat of the i3. Foot on the brake, start-stop button, powers right up. So I'll start running you through everything because there's a lot to cover. Here on the door, you've got your power windows, power mirrors, power door locks, and these power mirrors also fold on command or when you lock the car and walk away when you park. Good for, you know, car washes, tight parking spots, that kind of thing. Down here, you got a big console here, a big cubby, along with these 2 little dividers here that make it really easy for holding a water bottle or something upright so it doesn't tip and flop around. I'm going to open the door quick and show you this. Down here is how you access your fuel door, your frunk, and your trunk. And then up here are your headlight controls, automatic, off, marker lights, and full on. Next to it there is the dimmer for that center display. Speaking of the center display, it's just a really clean, simple display here. So on this stalk on the side, you'll see this button that says BC. That allows you to go through all of just little menus here, like showing your total odometer, cumulative range, battery, miles per kilowatt hour historically versus immediate, average speed, outside temp, time, all that kind of stuff. And you can turn it off if you want a completely clean display. Down below that here, this is your fuel range on the gas tank and the Rex motor. So at half a tank, you got about 37 miles of range. Next to it there, that's your battery. So probably about 85 to 89% battery on this one right now, 105 miles on Eco Pro. If I go Eco Pro Plus, range goes up. If I go down to Comfort, range goes down. Pretty easy stuff. And you'll see charge and e-power there. That will show if you are generating power in regenerative braking versus using it as you drive. This here is the gear selector on these i3s. Your start-stop button is there. Park is here. Forward is drive. Middle is neutral. Back is reverse. Uniquely on this, if you hit the start-stop button to power the vehicle down, you'll see this screen stays lit with charge settings and what's called comfort climate. Comfort climate is if you're in the car at a fast charge and you want to keep the AC going, you can, or heat going, you can do that through here. So you hit start stop a second time and then the whole system powers down and it's fully off. Now, speaking of that iDrive menu here, that's how you access everything in this. These BMW iDrives have a ton of information, options, and menus. So I'll just go through the quick and easy ones right now. So for multimedia, you have auxiliary line in, USB line in, and Bluetooth. For the radio, you have got FM and Sirius satellite radio. Now I'm using the iDrive controller here. It looks a little intimidating at first, but I promise you, as soon as you figure out what buttons are where and get used to the scrolly wheel, it is easy to use. I can run through this thing without ever taking my eyes off of the road. So let's go to hotkey nav real quick, and I'll show you one thing I like about this. Whether or not you use the navigation on this, that's on you. Honestly, Google Maps and Waze for traffic and cop spotting probably works better, but I like the fact that this will give you, as you change your drive modes, it'll show you real world range on the map. So now take a look in Eco Pro Plus. We'll have the biggest possible range circle showing from us how far we could make it on combined fuel and battery. If we go down to Eco Pro, you'll watch that ring shrink. It takes a second to load. But see, and if we go all the way to comfort, it'll shrink again. And while it's loading, I'll show you the HVAC here. So, simple AC controls, and this being an EV, it's genuinely best to just set it to auto, dial in the temperature you want, and let it do its thing with just changing the fan speed down here. Now, if you want to override it and make it, more strong, max AC will kick everything as high as it can go. Recirc, full fan, full cold, all the time. Set it back to auto quick so you can hear me again over the wind. This changes the position of where the airflow goes. AC, you can manually kick that on and off here depending on the weather, as well as over here, this is your automatic recirculating air. So you can have A for auto, M for manual recirc all the time, or lights off for all fresh air all the time. This also has heated seats, driver and passenger, because again, it is always more efficient to warm up you, the driver, than the car itself. And pulling up quick, under comfort, you can see it changed that real world range to not quite making it to Phoenix from us here in Tucson on the highest electricity consumption drive mode. Next to that drive mode selector here is your parking sensors. So if you push that, lights up green and it pulls up the sonar front and rear. And if you knock it into reverse, that sonar stays here on the side and you get the backup camera with the predictive course lines that follow your turning. Other than that, in here we've got a couple of storage options, and one kind of cool thing is you'll see the one cup holder up there. Well, that actually is a modular mount for 3 different positions for your second cup holder. So you can lock it into any one of those 3, or if you want to, there is a sneaky 4th option here in the center cubby. Meaning, if you wanted to go out and buy more cup holders, you could have 5 cup holders here just for the front 2 passengers. Now, in that center cubby, fairly deep, you got my phone at the bottom of that. You've got a cigarette lighter power port, which this actually still has this cigarette lighter, which is wild. It's never been used, but you never see those things anymore anyway. So that's kind of neat. And then the auxiliary line in and the USB port down there. Above that, you have a little center armrest console. Good, honestly, that's the sweet spot for putting your phone because it keeps it out of the sun and easily accessible, keeps from overheating. And this also notches up and down to more comfortably dial in for you as an armrest. This one, all i3s have top-loading glove boxes, which is kind of neat, integrates into the dash here. And then up above, not too much out of the ordinary. You've got an automatic dimming rearview mirror with your 3 programmable buttons there for garage doors or gates. And then up above, you've got your standard fare illuminated visors with a little ticket holder there for like a parking stub or something. All right, now that we're down off the top deck of the parking garage, I got the windows open so you can all listen to this thing as we go through the garage, listen for, you know, suspension or brake noises, any sort of bumps or rattles. It'll echo pretty loud in here. So if there is anything, we'll find it together right now. But only thing you really hear from this in here is the whine of that little rear-wheel drive electric motor as it puts down power or claws it back through regen. Another thing I really like about these i3s is that they are all one-pedal drive cars. So, like right now, if I just take my foot completely off the pedal, you'll see it swing to full regen, and it'll bring itself to a complete stop. Also, for parking, you're not going to reverse, backup camera and the little sonar sensors come on. Those predictive course lines make backing into spaces really easy, and this being a small car, it is wildly maneuverable. So that's also nice. And see this? It'll show you potential hazards not only visually on the camera, but with the little sonars there going red when you ought to stop. Let's get up to speed and get onto the interstate real quick. Merges absolutely no problem, as you'd expect from the instant torque of an EV. And as soon as we get a gap in traffic here, I'm gonna hop over into that middle lane, set the cruise right at 75, and show you how this thing feels at true highway speeds. So again, push there, set, and then you can dial in 1 or 5 mile-an-hour increments right up there. But really stable, and because of how aerodynamic this thing is, remarkably little wind noise here, especially at higher highway speeds where smaller vehicles can tend to get a little bit noisier. It's pretty remarkable the amount of engineering that went into these little eggs to make them really nice places to be and competent little machines, both for around town and if you need to put down some miles on a road trip. We just hit 75% battery, which means if we go to range extender here, we can engage hold state of charge mode, which turns this bright, showing it has changed over to running the range extender motor. So now we're running on our gasoline generator. And if I'm quiet, you can just hear the prrrr, and you'll hear it rev up and rev down as we change our electrical demands. So like when we come to a stop here at this light, you'll hear it shut off because it's going to try to maintain 75%. So using regenerative braking and coming to a stop, it'll bring it up to 75, hold it for a second, but now that we've come to a stop, it just turned off, back to quiet. Now the light's green and we start going again. Drops down below 75. Motor comes back on. So now, hear it rev up there. As we accelerate onto the highway and electrical demand goes up, the motor revs itself up. And as I use the regen brake to slow back down because of traffic here at the end of the ramp, you'll hear the motor slow back down. It's a really cool little system. I'm going to do a quick 0 to 40 to 0 to show you all there's nothing hiding in the suspension or braking systems under extreme accelerative or decelerative load. I've got traction control off. We're in comfort mode for the most sporting of starts. And yeah, 3, 2, 1, let's go. 40. ABS, right to a stop. Very nice. Back at the yard, wrapping everything up on our 59,000 mile 2017 BMW i3 range extender. If you're looking for an EV but have a bit of range anxiety, this with that generator in the back is a really, really nice way to go and some really good peace of mind. Plus, it's parked in front of all of its other electrified and plug-in hybrid brethren. To make an appointment to come see this vehicle, all of our contact information is listed in the description below, and in just a moment, our phone number will be listed on the screen. As always, I've been Dylan. We'll see you soon.